Liverpool versus everybody. Here, just having a second look at the game against Arsenal at the Emirates yesterday. I got my buddy JAMZ on. How you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, man. Not too bad.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. Let's start with the lineup. And just want to ask you, is that a lineup that you were pleased with? Were you expecting pretty much that? Was there a player here, a player there that you wanted different? Talk to me about that.
The lineup on paper is what I was impressed. I liked, obviously the back four. I love seeing Gomez and Virgil, and then Trent and Robertson. That's my back four, and then obviously my front three. The midfield, Hendo being out, would he have been in maybe? Fabinho had two great games prior to this game, so it kind of made sense for him to be in, and Wijnaldum's Wijnaldum. I think Shaqiri was maybe. I think we wanted to, which we didn't do. I think we wanted to win the midfield battle, which is probably why we didn't go with Shaqiri. We went with three more disciplined kind of midfielders, but we didn't win the battle at all. But yeah, I was okay with the team.
Yeah, it looks like Gary just joined us. So Gary, same question to you, man. What the lineup that you saw? Were you pleased with that? Did you think there should have been a change here or there? Talk to me.
No, I was quite pleased with the lineup, to be honest with you. That's the one I picked in my prediction on Friday when I went on some Arsenal channel, and that's the team I wanted, to be quite honest with you. And I was happy, but it just felt like there's something missing in midfield. We just couldn't we weren't pressing enough. I felt we were getting outnumbered. It just felt like we also had more players on the pitch, but we weren't getting the ball forward to the front three quickly. There was no link between the midfield and the attack. Yeah. So I was getting quite frustrated there. But we should have held on, to be honest with you. We should have held on to a 1-0 win. That should have been enough, but it's frustrating. I still can't get over the fact that we've drawn that game, because I fully expected us to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue for me is I agree with most of all of it, everything you guys said. The thing for me was that was the first game this season where I didn't feel like we could stay in control of a game. We never were in control of that game. Even when we went one up, I felt like Arsenal were always looking to score. And the whole game I'm sitting there shaking my head because we just kept giving the ball away, It was almost like it was on a loop, and it was just they were just showing it's the replay over and over because they kept doing the same thing. But that was disappointing, and I think I got to be honest for myself. Arsenal were more better than I thought they would be. I mean, they were better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Especially, I knew they were good going forward, but I just thought the way we looked defensively this season, we'd be to handle that and then score against them. They also haven't really been a good first half team. So everything looked like to me, in the making for us to take care of them. And I think having that week off, I would have thought that would have really Arsenal looked like the team that was more rested. They looked a little bit more hungry. They looked a little bit more cleaner, sharper in certain situations. So speaking about the midfield is very accurate. But I think even with that being said, we had enough chances to wrap that game up, and that was a bit disappointing. Talk to me, James, about Van Dijk. Are you more on the side of always a defender? So, I'm not really expecting him to score those goals, or do you think, hey, you're in those positions, score the goal?
I think I'm a massive fan of Van Dijk. I think he was our best player, and he looks like a year 11-year-old playing with year 9s. He's just amazing. So I'll say that first. Yes, I probably am expecting him to score. When he first came and he made his debut and he scored against Everton, I thought, oh shit, yeah, this is going to be a regular thing. Once every 4 weeks, he'll grab a goal, 6, 7, like John Terry did, like, Rio kind of did, 6, 7 goals a season. Top of centre-back, Skirtle did one season. But it hasn't been like that. Let's not lie. It's almost been a year now since he scored for Liverpool. He scored January the 4th, I think. So he's very dominant in the air, but he more than not doesn't put them in the goal. Keeper saves them, they go over. So he had 2 chances. One was a decent save. One, he took the touch. He had 3 actually. Took the touch and the keeper saved it. Should have probably buried it. And the other one, it hit the woodwork.
He had 3. He could have had a hat trick.
He could have had a hat trick. So he should be putting one of them away. And I just think maybe he can work on that. I don't know, but over the course of a season, we might end up highlighting this where Van Dijk or Gomez, one of the centre backs, could be chipping in. You look at Sergio Ramos, he's gone on to get 30, 40 goals in his career from putting them away. And I think we're only highlighting it because our front three are not scoring. Let's be honest, we're not highlighting this if you win 3-4-0 or 3-4-1. we're highlighting it because our front three all look fucking useless at the moment. So God knows, I'm really disappointed with the game, but we'll get onto that.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, well, on Van Dijk, I mean, the first one was which one was the first one? The first one was where he chested down.
Now, was the first post?
No, I think that was right on half time, wasn't it? When he hit the post. So the first, I think, the first one was where he chested down, and I'm expecting to score that. I mean, he controls it well with his chest, and then he just hits it. I don't know. It's just Leno does come out well, to be fair to him, but he should be hitting that high. You know, he should be hitting that power, hitting it in the roof of the net. That should be a goal. The second one, I think that's just when Leno just takes him out. I think that's just unlucky. He's not really expecting Leno to come out there. It's kind of same with Alisson Mkhitaryan in that same situation. And the third one, he has to score that. He has to score that free header straight at the keeper. If it's left or right, that doesn't matter if he's a striker or not. Defenders, they should be there for set pieces. He has to score that goal.
Thank you.
That's what defenders are there for. They practice all week. Scoring from set pieces. So the third one for me. I mean, the second one, okay. The first one, all right, but the third one is the one that he has to bury for me, and that's 2-0, 75th minute. That's 2-0, and that's game over.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal's coming back from that.
No.
And so again, like I said, even when we went 1-up, as nice as it was, and as much as a relief as it was, it never felt like Liverpool gonna control it and win that game, and that was highly disappointing. You talk about the front three, and the reason why we're talking about it and them not being good, but again, in these kind of games, fine margins, top four teams, those little chances we get from set pieces or whatever the case may be, we have to take them, and so that to me is bigger than the front three not doing well, because we get it. There's been periods where collectively they're not really well. I think Firmino is probably his worst game against Arsenal, maybe in general for us. Really, really poor, I thought. And I think in a game like that where Firmino isn't really linking with Salah, with Mane, for whatever reason, midfield, whatever the case may be, that's trouble for us. But again, in those moments, we need to be a bit better. Fabinho, let's talk about him real quick. Is this a performance? I'll come to you first, Gary, that you thought was possible, especially after seeing him play 2 really good games against teams that, let's be honest, they didn't really come out to play us. They're very, very slow. They don't really have the pace, the power that Arsenal could bring. Is this a surprising performance from you or from Fabinho to you? And do you think a lot of people are questioning again? Should we have got him? Is he good enough after one game? So just talk to me more about Fabinho. What you thought about his performance?
Well, I mean, the thing with Fabinho is, I mean, he came on against Huddersfield. He did well. Cardiff and Red Star did well, but this was always going to be a different test for him. This is his first real big test, and Arsenal were pressing quite high. They were pressing on midfield. When we had the ball in defense with Gomez and Dijk, they weren't really pressing. But as soon as you got into the feet of Salah, Firmino, Mane, or Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and Milner, that's when they start going at us with numbers, and that's why we really didn't get a foothold in the game. We weren't, as Klopp said, we weren't compact enough as well when we didn't have the ball, or when we had the ball. We were just kind of, there was no movement in our play. There's no nothing. And Fabinho, I thought, was in the first half sloppy, on the ball, slow. But he breaks other players so well. When we saw that in the game, I think he was just poor in his possession play. I think that's where he was poor. But when we didn't have the ball, I thought his position was really good. I thought tackling as well, his interceptions, they were all top notch. And you see fans saying we missed Henderson, and this is why Fabinho is not ready and Henderson is. But Fabinho, this is his third start or fourth start for Liverpool. Third proper start for Liverpool. 3 or 4 starts now. Henderson's been doing it for 7 years. He's had 7 years to settle in. Fabinho's had how many months to settle in, and he's barely had any minutes. So it's going to take time. This is a learning curve for him. He's going to learn from it. But I think a lot of people that support Henderson were the ones that a lot of people that like Henderson were the ones that were criticizing Fabinho a lot, to be honest with you. So it's a learning curve for him. I think he's going to improve. More game time for him, because we're going to have a busy period coming up. So he's going to get a lot of minutes. But I just think that we just looked so disjointed yesterday as a team. I mean, going forward, because defensively, I thought we were really good. Really, really good defensively. Even when we went 1-0, I wasn't worried I thought we were going to see it out 1-0. I wasn't worried at all that they were going to score. I didn't really have
Really?
any clear cut. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I wasn't worried that they're going to score. I felt that we had everything under control, to be honest with you, and it's just, Welbeck and Lacazette make that run in behind, and then I don't know. One thing I want to get onto is why is Lacazette gets the ball, and then Alexander-Arnold can rush straight to Lacazette, and he starts putting his hand up, appealing for offside, and that just annoys me because he has to play into the final whistle. If he gives 100%, yeah, play to the whistle. If you go to if he runs to Lacazette as soon as he gets the ball, he blocks a shot, or if he stops it. So that kind of annoyed me, but I still haven't got over it because that's just so frustrating. I just hate Arsenal a lot. So
well, let's go with that, and because I totally disagree with the defending part, and that was just one of the many, in my opinion, issues that we had with Trent and the defense in general. Yes, Van Dijk was amazing. He clears everything out. I think for the most part, the center backs were pretty good, and even Robertson. But that left side, you can tell they were trying to get at, and I think that they overlapped and got a lot of back doors on us most of the game. I don't think we were that great defensively. I think a lot of the shots that they had, I think we had the better chances, but some of the shots that they had, they were like maybe an inch off. And that last goal, and the goal that they tied up with, I don't get why we're not stopping that. I don't get why there's not someone diving in for there were so many times still with Liverpool that too many crosses are allowed to come in the box, and I don't get that. I don't understand that. I don't know why they're not being stopped. It's really a lot of times you saw Liverpool backing off of Arsenal, almost like, yeah, come on, come in, attack us, instead of really trying to get the ball. So I don't really think we were great defensively. I thought we were good enough to finish. We should have been good enough to finish that game off. But again, even when we scored, personally, it just never felt like we were going to control this.
I can't remember any clear-cut chances that Arsenal really had, to be honest with you. That's why I thought. I mean, they were always going to get some of these half chances, but I didn't really think of any, times where I was, they nearly scored. I was worried. To be honest with you, I was quite comfortable for the whole match. That's why it's annoying.
Yeah, I totally get that. So one example for me, which I think on another day with a different player or just a better shot, we may pay for it, and it's a good thing we got a good keeper. But remember that moment where Torreira, of all people, as good as he is, was able to just drive right through the defense. No one stopped him. No one tried to tackle him. I mean, that can't happen. That can't happen. That cannot. I'm sorry, that cannot happen. I mean, I saw that a lot yesterday. Not just that time. It was like, where's the defense? Clear the ball, tackle the dude. It really pissed me off. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. JAMZ.
Fabinho.
Fabinho.
Yeah, obviously I was disappointed. We spoke last week, and I was really impressed with Fabinho. And I thought he was the tall Mascherano that we've missed and whatnot. Now, I'm not blaming him. Klopp hasn't really used him too much. And then, like what we've already said, he said, going to the Emirates, a massive game, big pitch. But the problem is Torreira, you'd argue, is of a similar background. They're both new. They're both young, both South American. You'd argue that we've got the better person, the more expensive one. And it doesn't help when Torreira looks so comfortable and Fabinho looks so uncomfortable. Whether that's because he's at home, I don't know. Or whether that's because he's a better footballer, I don't think that's the case. But maybe, I don't know. And I am team Fabinho over Henderson eventually. But I can't help but feel like if Henderson was fit, you're going to put Henderson in. He's not going to be fazed by that energy. He's not going to be fazed by the big ground. He's not going to be fazed by... Whereas Fabinho, he does seem like he's not the most confident player at the moment. And he started off quite poorly, I felt, with the passing. And then it looked like he didn't really want to be involved. He didn't really want the ball. He looked for the easy option. He was just nervous. He's nervous. And, it's just one of them ones. And I just think overall, like you said, Trent's 19 and teams are picking on him. And sometimes he has a great game. Sometimes he doesn't. And yesterday, he was picked on and he weren't so good. And he's got a lot of learning to do. And we have to remember that he's 19, 20 and, lots of players are in and out of sides at this age, your Rashfords and Jesus, and to be played in a Premier League, arguably winning Premier League team at 20, it's a lot of, maybe we could do with, I don't know, I like Klein, we could be using Klein sometimes.
I think we should be using Klein because I think, but because Alexander-Arnold was getting, I wouldn't say torn to pieces, but I think he was definitely getting bullied by, especially when the Welbeck came on. It will be even Aubameyang winning behind him a few times, and I think Klein is. I don't know why Klein's not being used because, I do think Klein's a good player. I think Klein is a good player, especially defensively as well. 1-on-1, Klein is just he will not let you go past. So I don't know why. I don't know why he's not getting minutes. He's not even getting in on the bench. So I don't know when he's going to get a chance because we seem to. kind of just remember about the attacking play, the fullbacks. But one-on-one, Klein is a brilliant player. So that's what kind of annoys me with Klopp right now. He needs to be giving Klein more minutes, because I do think he's a good player. Defensively solid as well. So
I don't know why. That's definitely something to look at. I think back on the Fabinho v Torreira thing, if you want to talk about that, is the other thing is Arsenal is playing him in a position or in a system, if you will, quote unquote, that probably fits him a bit better, which is the 4-2-3-1. And I think that's probably the best way we can get out of the best I think system that we can get the best out of Fabinho. And I think I was a little disappointed to see us go back to a 4-3-3, especially having Fabinho. I mean, Klopp said himself that's the best.
He was always going to go back to 4-3-3.
Say again?
He was always going to go back to 4-3-3 for a game against the top 6 away. I just knew he was going to pick that team. He wasn't going to pick like a Shaqiri, and it was always going to be a Fabinho, Ronaldo, Milner, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and in hindsight, you don't really know if that would have changed it. I mean, Henderson may have done better. The 4-2-3-1 may have been better. Don't really know. But let me get to some of these questions in the comments. And of course, everybody's asking, can we still fight for the title? I think that's a bit of a panic question, but I'll bring it to you guys. JAMZ?
Yeah, of course we can. This is my thing. It's flipping disappointing. I'm so vexed. This is the biggest disappointment of the season. Maybe because I've got a lot of Arsenal fans around me, like my brother. They're rattling me, and I thought we was going to go there and clean up 3-0, 4-0, 4-1. I kept saying their stupid, shitty run. It's because they've had Quackbar from Europa League, and Zaha caused them so much problems. Our front three, we're finally banging, and then everything's put away. And then I can't help but feel like other teams, if you're Chelsea, even Arsenal, you're now thinking, well, Liverpool, let's be real, they didn't beat City, they didn't beat Chelsea, they didn't beat us. Okay, we didn't lose, but is that enough to win the Premier League when Man City are going everywhere and smashing teams except for us? So the way I see it is we just need City to drop points. They drop points against Wolves. They are human beings. They've got United coming up next week. United might be finding some form. I don't know. I think we're still in the title race, but it's not helping. I would have took this at the beginning of the season, yes, but also it's not helping that everyone else has had a very good start to the season, except for United. This is the best start Tottenham had for 50 years. This Arsenal on unbeaten run, they haven't been on it for 10 years, 13, 14 games. So we are in a good place, but so is everyone else. Even little teams like Bournemouth are breaking their own records. And so the level of the Premier League now is not a joke. And we are a loss away from arguably being fourth. That's how really it is. If we lose next weekend and Tottenham, Chelsea and Man City win, then we kind of drop out of being level on points. So even now, Chelsea win their level. And so we're definitely still in. There's no need to panic. No need to panic. We've played 3 of the top 4 away from home. Let's not forget that. Right now, the current top 4, we played Arsenal away, we played Chelsea away and Tottenham away. It only means that they're going to come to Arsenal come to Anfield December. I expect us to slaughter them, So, yeah, it's one of them ones. I think we've got some concerns. I think there's concerns with our team overall, the goals. Firmino, 2 goals in the Premier League. I know he's not an out-and-out goal-scoring attacker, but that's not looking good at all. His confidence must be quite low. Mane, he drifts through games and, he looks, one week he looked great, next week he's unseeable. And Salah, he seems to be doing everything right, drops his shoulder, cuts in, makes chances, and then he doesn't put them in, So, God knows, there's issues going on at the moment with our goals, but yeah.
Yeah, Gary?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely challenge the Premier League. I mean, look, 8 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses, and we played City at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal away, Spurs away, even 2 tough teams, Leicester away and Palace away. Even those are tough games. So I think there's no need to panic. I mean, this is the game. I mean, Chelsea, I was very happy with the point. Even City, happy with the point. But this is the game where I'm disappointed. This is the first time, even Napoli away, I wasn't, too bothered about it too much. I mean, this is the game where I've just been mostly disappointed this season. Not so much with with the performance, because I think the performance was good enough to win the game, to be honest. With the chances that we had, the chances that, as I said, we had, and the goal we conceded, which is quite frustrating. So no, there's no need to panic, but I think we need to go and just keep on winning, because we're going to have Fulham at home next. That's going to be, I think we're going to put a few past them. That's 3 points for me. But I think the tough test is after the international break. We've got Watford away, and that's going to be a very, very tough game. After the international break, hopefully you don't have any injuries, and then we start to have a few more easier games. Everton, Burnley, Bournemouth, which are still some of them tough, but we should be getting points. But that's what I'm saying. The next 5 games have to be 15 points. If we can just go on a winning run, you know, just keep on winning. That's what we have to do. Keep on taking it one game at a time. Keep on winning. Keep on rotating the squad. Because I think the thing with us is we can go to Watford and win 1-0 because our defense is that good, and we're going to score, aren't we? So that's what gives me confidence. Our defense, you know, we'd have to score 3 goals to win a game anymore. We can score 1 goal and that's it. We can win the game. So, you know, we're going to have tougher tests to come, but we're still in it, definitely. I mean, City probably going to smash Southampton, Chelsea going to be Palace probably, and we're going to be down to 3rd, which is no big problem. It doesn't matter what the table's looking like at the minute, as long as we're in touching distance and we're there in that first position, we'll be fine. There's no need to panic at the minute. But we've got a big game against Red Star Belgrade. You know, let's look at that, because if we drop points, we're going to be in a bit of trouble as well. So that's going to be a big game. If we win there, then we're a bit more comfy in the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely can still challenge. I think we definitely are going to still challenge. I don't think that's going to be an issue for us at all. We just got to, you know, dust ourselves off and jump back into it. But I just want to talk about Shaqiri real quick. Do you guys think that in a game like this, it was yelling out for him to come on earlier? Do you think it's just easy to say that in hindsight, or do you think that would have changed the game if he came on earlier or started?
Yeah, I would have wanted him on earlier. I would have wanted him on earlier. Yeah,
he should have taken Firmino off, put Salah strike, and said Shaqiri in the right 60 minutes. I was saying Firmino because he was doing nothing in the game. He was losing possession. His touch was poor. He wasn't doing anything amazing. You know, he should have brought Shaqiri on earlier, have a bigger impact on the game.
Yeah. I agree. I think also with Firmino, just quickly, he was coming so deep to get the ball. And maybe that's because there's no one in midfield. That's, you know what, one thing none of us have mentioned is Naby Keita. You know, he started off really well for us. If Naby's in that game, is he beating 1 or 2 players? You know, beating 2 players and making life easier? Without Naby and without Ox and without Shaqiri, without Ox, without Naby and without Shaqiri, the midfield, no one really wants to drop a shoulder and beat a man. And so Firmino was having to come all the way into midfield. Sometimes they're coming to like the halfway line almost to get the ball, and he's in
like a workhorse. It's a workhorse midfield, that is. That's a workhorse midfield.
Yeah.
There's no creativity there. It's
Definitely.
just full of energy, full of things, but there's no creativity. There's not someone that can just, as you said, drop a shoulder, get past a couple of people, and make something happen. There's no link to the midfield to attack. There's no one that was kind of linking everything up. The attack, when we were on the attack, it was just kind of the front 3 doing stuff themselves, because there's no one really getting in the box. And they were pressing us, and there was just no one around. There was no movement, and just a bit stale. There's no, we were just a bit sloppy as well. It just, but in the end, as I said, we should have won the game. But we have to move on now.
Shaqiri, back to the question, Shaqiri should have been on earlier. Definitely should have been on earlier. And there's loads of things we can do. You know, like you said, you can drop Firmino and then play Salah up top. You can even put Sturridge on, drop Firmino, put Sturridge in, and then Shaqiri. Give you a proper striker, who will make it something out of nothing, allow you to then maybe think about crossing the ball into the box more, and different style of play. We need a plan B too. We do need a plan. Lots of teams have plan Bs, and maybe there's options. We've got options, but Klopp wants to do options in the 90th minute. Why are you bringing Matip on?
Yeah. Like, that's one of those safe moves from him. Let me waste a little bit more time.
I think he just wanted to take the point and end there.
But I mean, you can still go for it, and I think when you saw
Pep Guardiola's not doing that. When Man City go to Arsenal at 1-1 in the 70th minute, he's not doing that. And that's the problem. We need to. We should be thinking, fuck this, Sturridge, you're coming on now, 75th minute.
See, that's why I wonder if Klopp, I mean, I hate to even say this, but I sometimes I really do wonder if he trusts in the bench. Because when you see a bench with Origi and Sturridge, you're thinking, okay, so he's definitely going to pull the trigger early if we need it. And he just didn't do that. And I guess, again, like a lot of fans thought at 1-0, I didn't, but a lot of people seem to think they were comfortable with that, and we can finish that off. And maybe Klopp thought, you know what, we can take this 1-0. I'll be happy. Let me get the fuck out of here. Get these 3 points. We're good. One thing I want to say is that every game from now on is going to be tough. Let's remember that, because we are Liverpool. Everybody's going to give us their best, even if we are hurting ourselves. Every game, whether we make it hard on ourselves or the team is just that good, it's going to be tough, especially in a season where so many other good teams are at the top. You know, obviously City, but Arsenal are running up there now, Chelsea. So every game's going to be tough. And there are going to be some games that we struggle through, but we got to get the result at the end of the day. Looking forward to the Red Star Belgrade game. There's been a lot of talk about Shaqiri not playing. Is that something you guys probably think will happen because of the situation there?
I think he'll play. I think he even said before a couple of weeks ago that he wants to play anyway. He's just there to play football and not talk about politics. So he should play, man. Who cares? You know, bring him in there, play. You know, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp doesn't play him, because you know the stadium's going to be. Imagine when he touches the ball. Imagine when he touches the ball, the boost he's going to get. But I think this is definitely a game for a bit more rotation to come in, because we need to keep things fresh, man. We've got so many games. I was just looking at the fixture schedule today. The amount of games we have now in December, late November and December is just so crazy. Even though I think we've got the most hours of rest in between, or something like that. The Christmas period. Yeah, we've got the best ones, but there's still a lot of games, and you know.
And let's hope that actually counts for something. You know, the rest part, because again, I use the example.
Yeah, we're just an Oxlade-Chamberlain short. I think if we had Oxlade-Chamberlain yesterday, at least in that midfield, we would have had a bit more drive in that midfield.
Oh, no question, no question.
So that's just a big miss there, isn't it?
I think Klopp obviously sees it too, because you talk about Firmino dropping deep. But what about Mane? I mean, Mane's dropping super deep as well to get the ball and try
I thought Mane was probably the best out of the front three yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, see, Mane is so divided, because there's so many people in the comments even saying that Mane wasn't great. I agree with you.
I thought Mane was the best out of the front three. I thought he was the one that was actually keeping possession, making things happen. I thought Salah wasn't as bad as people was making him out. I thought Firmino was the worst. I thought it was Mane first, Salah second, Firmino third.
Yeah. But, what do you think, James?
I think first half was Salah. Definitely first half. I think he looked like he was the only one that was going to do anything, but then he started to die down, and Mane started to grow into it more. I don't know, man. And we haven't even spoke about the goal that we should have got that weren't given, and it's just it weren't our day. It weren't our day, innit? You know, just
that's the best way to put it. It wasn't our day. Listen. We all have eyes. We know the English refs are not good, and that's not just because of Liverpool games, but we've seen
them. That's why none of them woke up.
Yeah, exactly. Every weekend they make atrocious. I mean, I just don't get it. And so, forgive me, but I didn't want to harp too much on that, because to me, that's not the reason why we didn't win this game. Yes, it would have helped to get that, but you know, we get things like that going our way too, and you know, it is what it is. That's just football. It's a shame, but someone needs to teach all of the refs the rules, because obviously they don't get them.
The sooner VAR comes, the better. I'm all.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a VAR decision though. But if we had VAR, it takes 5 seconds.
No, it's true. It's true.
That's basic. He would have learned that in his early years doing Sunday League. You know, that's standard. That was just a poor decision. But like you said, I'm not trying to talk about that decision really.
Yeah. No, I definitely.
On to the next one, really. Well, okay, I've got a question for you guys. So January is coming up. Would you want someone? Do you think we need someone? Do you call a loanee back? Do you go out and buy someone?
Gary, go ahead, take it first.
No, not really. I wouldn't really. I think even Klopp said he's not going to get anyone. But I don't think I think we need someone, but I don't think it's just difficult to buy people in January. I think we need. If we can pick to choose one, I'll bring Oxlade-Chamberlain back from injury if I can pick one back. But no, I wouldn't really go and get anyone. There's no need to kind of just rush in there and buy players for the sake of it, just to make the numbers up. I think we're just gonna have to wait until the summer to make some signings. But no, I think we're okay. I think we've been quite lucky with injuries so far this season. You know, we've dealt with it as well, and I think that's squad depth as well. So squad depth has helped us a lot with the signings of Fabinho, Keita as well, and Shaqiri. So I think we're fine with that. I think it's just a case of us just winning games and just getting our attack back to form, because once we get our attack back to form, we're going to start clicking, we're going to start winning games. But no, I don't think we need to get anyone in January. I think we're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we have any necessarily serious weakness. I know a lot of people will say a 10. We need to buy a Coutinho-like player, especially that Ox is out, and the fact that we don't really have a ball carrier. I think Naby is that. I think we need to see it, and once he gets back from injury, hopefully we can see more of that. There's people, again, with the panic talk about like, oh, we need a controller, as if Fabinho is not alive, like he doesn't exist. I don't understand that. These kind of reactionary things after games. I get it, the frustration, emotion, and all that, but to say we need a controller after one game is a bit of a issue for me. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. I think we need to get the best out of, which I think Mame says here, get the best out of what we have before bringing in other players. And I think Klopp is not. He's never been a guy to kind of do that panic buy. One thing I am curious to know from you guys, and I'll come to you first, Gary, is obviously let's talk about Ramsey. There's been some talks again about Corey, and there's been some small talks about Rabiot. Tomorrow, if you had to choose, what of those three, who are you taking? I know Ramsey's free, so that might play into your answer. But of those three midfielders, who are you taking, and who you think we can use the most at this point?
Well, I think we're
just hypothetical.
Yeah, I don't even think we're interested in Ramsey. I think Sky Sports came out or something like that and said we're not interested at all. But I think Ramsey is a good player. I think he's a guy that can get goals. You know, he's a box-to-box player as well that can improve under a manager like Klopp. But I would prefer. I think he'd probably be the bottom of my list. I'd probably prefer someone like a Rabiot or even Doucouré. I actually like Doucouré quite a lot. I think he's a good player, a good physical, strong player that can score goals. Defensively, he's quite strong. He can break up play. But Rabiot's quite good as well. I like Rabiot, but I haven't seen too much of him, to be honest. I do see a lot of Doucouré because I watch a lot of the Premier League. So to be honest, I do like the look of Doucouré. I liked him for a long time, and I think we could probably get him if we want him. But yeah, Doucouré for me is probably the one I'd pick the most.
Yeah, I agree, James.
It's hard to say. Again, I haven't seen much of Rabiot, so it's between Doucouré and Ramsey. I don't know. I look at Ramsey and I think there is that one 2013-14 season where he was incredible. And
he's quite injury prone and he wants a huge wage pack.
He's going to want a big wage.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an issue. I don't believe we should bend over for anyone, especially not Ramsey. So, you know, the only good thing about Ramsey would be, I don't know, because it's so hard to say, really. He's free. You know, he's probably saving you 40, 50 million. In today's transfer market, 40 million, I'd say he'd go for. So, yeah, could Klopp do something with him? The only thing that he's 28, 29 soon, you know, he's coming out of his peak. I don't know. I'd probably say Doucouré too, just because there's more to him. He's got more potential. His ceiling's higher.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need him. I don't think we need that type of midfielder.
Yeah, I don't think we need it either, but I agree. Of the three, I mean, obviously I watched Doucouré a bit more. But from just what I've seen in totality of all the players, I think Doucouré, in my opinion, is probably the better fit.
How old is he?
25.
Yeah, somewhere low like that, mid-20s.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. So does anyone have the fixture list by chance up in front of them? Do you know the next?
Yeah,
say,
I've got them in my head.
Oh, nice. What's the next? I don't know, 5 fixtures in the league.
Oh, we've got Fulham at home, international break, Watford away. Then we have Everton at home. Then we've got Burnley away in midweek. Then Bournemouth away, and then I could go on forever if you want me to.
All right, so that's very impressive. Thank you. So, and of those games,
yeah, that's why I said 15 points the next 5 games. We have to win.
And do you think that's do you see that being what we get 15? Do you see us dropping any of those games?
I mean, the minimum, which is the maximum, is what I think we need to get. We need to get 15. I think the minimum. I think I could see us maybe dropping a couple points, maybe at Watford away or something like that. I hope that's not the case. Sorry, Everton's at home, yeah. And then we've got Burnley away, Bournemouth away, which is going to be tough.
Bournemouth away should be tough.
Yeah, and Watford away as well. They just lost yesterday, didn't they? So, but no, that's still going to be tough, at Vicarage Road. But 15, I think that's definitely achievable. Then we move on to, I think, United at home, Wolves away, Newcastle home, Arsenal home, and City away. So some tough games there.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, but no. If we can win the next 5, I think that's going to set us up nicely for the United match because we need to beat United now. That's it. Now we need to beat Manchester.
Oh yeah, no question.
And that's going to be a confidence booster for the whole team, beating your rivals, and that just sets you up for the rest of the period.
I mean, I think even the Everton games, people might not agree, could be really tough this season. Both of those games would be tough.
And if you win them, they're always a boost, a confidence boost.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's funny because you read off those names and just last year, most of those games you're thinking, oh, that's an easy win. This season, man, it's really hard to pick out an easy match. It really is. It's hard to pick out a team.
They're all tough.
Yeah, I mean, even if you think about a team like Newcastle, you just never know. You never know. So it's up to Liverpool to continue in winning ways. And at the end of the day, listen, we haven't been our best, we can say, and yet we're still at the top of the table, near the top of the table, whatever you want to call it. And so that's got to be something that we can mention and be happy about. So I think look, it's one of those things. As Klopp always says, well, it feels like a loss. I don't want to say loss, but with the draw, with maybe a bad result that doesn't feel good, you got to use that for the next game. So let's be happy we didn't lose it, and I think we just charge up, go to Red Star, which is going to be a tough game, tough environment, very very tough environment.
We need to win the next two. Red Star away and Fulham. We need to win those. We can go into the international break with a bit more on a bit of a high.
Yeah. We should be good there. Hey man, Gary and James, I appreciate you guys. I know everything was last minute for you, Gary, so I appreciate you.
No,
hope I didn't hold you up. And James, but yeah, we'll talk soon. Is the game Tuesday, Wednesday?
Tuesday, and it's 2 hours early.
Yeah, so it's one of those early Champions League kickoff times.
In England, it's 5:30, I think.
5:55.
5:55.
Yeah.
Whoa! It's 5:55 there. Okay.
England, it's going to be about 2 hours earlier than usual. So whatever time you might still.
Oh man, yeah. That I'm gonna have to try to sneak out and watch that. But all right, guys. So we'll talk then, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a few days.
All right,
All right, man.
See you.